The nonsense, well, we were really tired from last night, and we didn't have legs, and, you know, human instinct took over, and you could write that if you want. I don't believe that. I don't accept it. It's what happened, but I don't believe it. What I just said to the players is you get 30 chances. And when you get a chance, and your chance might be 38 minutes, your chance might be fewer than that, but you have to empty your tank. And we didn't do that tonight. We didn't really do that. And at halftime, I said to them, you know, you're an older group here. You're an older group. We did everything we could to rest their legs, to get them sharp, but there was no pop, there was no sizzle. And really the best thing that was said was, Halil Kanasevic just said to them, that was all of us. It wasn't one of us, it was all of us. So that's disappointing, because the next time we're up here, you have to play back-to-back nights to keep advancing. So we have a tough stretch tomorrow. We have an absolutely, we have as good a day tomorrow, or we have as good an event tomorrow night as you could have on a college campus. We have Chris Herron talking to our student athletes tomorrow night. And I'm hoping that he'll get here early enough to talk to our team, because I think that, you know, he's lived where they live. And we wiped out study hall because it's a real-life study hall tomorrow night. And we will shorten even our practice session because it's more important than a basketball game on Tuesday, which will be a challenging game against Harvard.
Questions for Coach?
Phil, can you just talk about the foul trouble and how much did especially you lost Lang for, I guess, 11 minutes in the first half, and then Halil picked up his third foul early in
Well, I don't really, you know, we went to zone. That's why we have a secondary defense this year, to play those guys when there's foul trouble. I'm just not comfortable putting them in with 2 fouls in the first half, and we held our own. We held our own in the first half. We gave up we had a breakaway basket, and the guy, you know, our guy tried to do too much with it. Instead of like passing it ahead, we would have had a lead there. And towards the end of the half, we had a moving screen called, and then we gave up a dunk, or it's a tie game at half. So I don't look at this as foul trouble. This was not a foul trouble game. This was more of an emotional commitment to me.
Phil, could you talk about Florida State's quickness both on the perimeter and inside, and kind of the trouble that looked like it gave you guys?
Well, we thought watching the tape that this was an unusual defensive team. I mean, they've led the country 3 years in a row field goal percentage defense. And we wanted to do some things that involved more ball screening than I wanted to do. But we didn't carry it over. We didn't get from one side of the floor to the other. And they clearly have more pop in their leg than we did. They're going to do that to a lot of teams. They pride themselves on it. But, you know, I'm not leaving here saying, you know what, we gave them our very best bowl, because we did.
Coach, can you talk about Ronald Roberts' effort on the offensive glass and whether that was what you expected or if he exceeded your expectations?
Against that front line, he exceeded my expectations. To come in here and look at 7 offensive rebounds, that exceeds my expectations. But again, speaking on all these players, Ron didn't have that real oomph, particularly at the defensive end of the floor. They put him in jail a couple times. We started him playing him on a guard. We kept switching him around to kind of preserve Langston on the floor with his foul trouble. But I don't really think, I think it's a remarkable achievement to get 7 offensive rebounds against that front line. But there's not going to be any like head holding high on the bus going home. We lost. We lost. So Ron's rebounds and all tournament, kind of empty, to be honest with you, and that's the way he would approach it, because we didn't get what we wanted, and that was a win tonight.
Any final questions?
Bill, could you just comment on Carl Jones and the way he assimilated himself back into the rotation?
Well, I think that he's in a difficult position because he started for 2 years. He doesn't quite, you know, we have to work with that. We've been practicing a certain way all year. We haven't put the 6 guys who are the main guys in the rotation, we haven't kept them together. I thought, calling it the way it is, he stood around too much, and instead of being hard to guard, he became a little bit easier to guard. And then there was a lesson in that game. They went at him. They went at him and ran his man along the baseline and really challenged him to guard. He had any number of conversations, Jeff Arnold, myself, his father, that he was not playing 4 games tonight, he was playing 1. And just like our other guys, not successfully. So tomorrow is a day of practice, and across the board we have to get better. Thank you. Have a nice Thanksgiving.